A lot of new voice actors don't really understand how to price their work. And what can happen here is you'll either undercharge because you're afraid of losing work, or you'll overcharge because you don't quite understand the market. So in today's video, I want to show you how to price your work without over or undercharging. I want to show you how to invoice your clients professionally, because that's another big sticking point. A lot of people don't realize how easy it is to send invoices. And I want to make sure that you have this set so that you can price yourself fairly and get the most work possible. So if you don't know what to charge yet, don't just randomly pick numbers out of the air based on fear. There is a guide that you can use as a starting point called the GVAA Rate Guide, and that stands for Global Voice Acting Academy. Now, before we go on, I want to make it clear that what I'm talking about today is non-union work. If you're in the union, there's a whole separate set of rules. I'm non-union, and the majority of voice actors out there are non-union, so that's what I'm going to discuss today. So there's 3 different ways to price your work. The first is a session fee, and that's just what it sounds like. It's a fee that you get paid just for showing up for the recording session itself. The second is a usage fee, and this will be a period of time. So if the spot that you've recorded is going to be running for a year, then there's going to be an additional fee for that. And then last is revisions or pickups, and you either can choose to charge for this or not to charge, depending on the amount and the size of the pickup. But that is going to be your third thing to look at when you're figuring out your rates. Now, not all jobs out there are going to be broadcast, which means that the usage fee is not going to apply. Most of those kinds of jobs are going to be billed as just a one-time fee in perpetuity or forever. Hey there, my name's Mike, and I run the Voiceover Blueprint training program and YouTube channel here, where our goal is to give you free insights on how to grow and maintain your professional voiceover business. And if you're curious about voiceover and becoming a voice actor but just don't know where to get started, I host a weekly webinar on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, where I teach you the steps to get into voiceover. I answer any questions you may have right there on the call. I also talk about some of the mistakes that you could possibly make that could sideline your career. And just for showing up for the webinar, I throw in a free copy of my book, The Voiceover Blueprint. You'll get the digital copy as well as the audiobook, plus 4 free additional gifts. So once again, the webinar is completely free. If you just click that link down below in the description and pin comment, you can sign up, and I'll see you there. Many times when new voice actors go to the GVAA guide, they see these rates and they immediately go, wow, that seems way too high. Or, what if they say no? Or what if I lose this client? And then they end up what we call panic pricing, which means that you just undercut yourself and others, and just so you can get the job. The irony here is when you undercut your price, you can inadvertently look less professional. Another problem that can happen is that you can look at some of these freelance sites like Fiverr and Upwork and think that those are the industry standard rates, and they are not. Those sites are fine for some of that entry-level, low-end work, maybe, student projects or very, bottom of the rung jobs that are out there. But there's a big difference in those kinds of jobs and, a national radio or TV spot. And if you don't really understand usage and licensing, you can actually give away way too many rights cheaply. Here's a perfect example of how you can get paid. This just happened to me yesterday. I booked a job, a national job for an insurance company, and the initial rate was $3,000 plus the agency fee. So after we had a booked time to do the recording session, which was yesterday, the client reached out to the agent and said that they would like exclusivity for 1 year. So the initial usage was $3,000 for the year, but they wanted the exclusive rights to my voice for that year. So in other words, that means that I can't do any other national insurance spots for the next year. And for that, I got to charge 3 times the amount that was originally quoted for their job. Not only that, but they also wanted to add a few extra spots, and we had the recording session as well. So once you add up all those fees and the additional spots, the total rate came out to $13,000. And this session only took me about an hour and a half. So as you can see here, that's how some of these rates can really compound, and you can do really well as long as you know the right pricing to set. Now, what a lot of clients will ask you for is something called a rate sheet or a rate card. And that is where you can take your basic rates that you're going to be charging based off the GVAA rate guide and put these on a document that you can send out to people who ask for it. Now, another thing I want to mention about the GVAA rate guide is that those rates are to be used as kind of a jumping off point. They're not set in stone, so use those as a baseline and then adjust as needed. And a lot of new talent will think that because they're new, they can charge less. And that is definitely not the case. What you want to do here, if you've spent the right time and money and effort learning the craft, getting good demos, getting a website up, and have a good performance, you should be able to charge whatever the current market rate is. Don't just charge less because you're new. As far as the client is concerned, you've been doing this forever. You're just new to them. So here are some of the things that you can put on a rate card. This doesn't have to be some big complicated spreadsheet. It can just list a few of the styles of read that you do, e-learning, corporate narration, commercial, audiobooks. And then you can put a little bit of extra info in there about revisions and maybe rush delivery time. And that's really all you need to start. Okay, so you've got your rate set. Now you're going to start getting some work, hopefully. Once you start getting work, you're going to need to figure out a way to invoice these clients because there are clients who use all kinds of different methods to pay, but whatever the invoice is that you're sending should be very professional, clean, easy to understand, and most importantly, make it as easy as possible for your clients to pay you. Now, in the beginning, you don't need some big, fancy, professional accounting software. Something very basic should be all you need. You are going to be running a business, so you're going to need some sort of bookkeeping software, but you can start with something simple like FreshBooks or QuickBooks. PayPal invoicing has a free option there. Wave is another accounting software or bookkeeping software. You can also find templates in Microsoft Word for a basic invoice. Using those kinds of invoices is going to make you appear more professional. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do invoicing. You can either do it by job, or I have clients who send me so much work, they want me to tabulate all the jobs that I've done for them over the course of a month and send one invoice for all of those jobs. Just ask the client what they prefer. I hope this video has helped you realize the importance of a good, solid pricing structure as well as a good process for invoicing your clients. Remember, you are running a business, so the more of these processes you can kind of put in place, the better overall business you're going to have. And another quick reminder about that webinar coming up this Tuesday night at 6 p.m., where I'll cover the steps to get started, some of the things that could sideline you. You can ask as many questions as you like. And once again, you'll get a copy of my book, The Voiceover Blueprint, all for free. Thank you so much for being here once again. If you enjoy these videos, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That's the best way to help us out here. And if you have a question about rates or invoicing or anything else, drop a comment. I read and reply to all the comments. And if you want to learn why there's a possibility that you might need to fire some clients, then I made a complete video about that, and you can check it out by clicking that.